Thank you so much, G-Sun, for the translation all day of the analyst tests, and we've put G-Sun to work today so far, going the entire distance with sixth game on the way. These were shorter games, but the last one certainly didn't feel that way.
You cursed us. This is your fault.
I mean, that's what Kasajun's saying, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah, well, Clid's about to fall asleep by the looks of things. He's doing his best to keep himself awake.
I mean, I don't blame him. Do you know who I'm seeing later?
Who are you seeing later?
Do you know Phil?
Phil, the computer guy?
Yes.
Oh, heck yeah, I know Phil. I love Phil.
Yeah.
Have you signed his
Phil.
mouse pad?
No. Is that a thing?
Yeah. I think he's got a collection of stuff.
Whatever, I just haven't been invited, I guess. It's fine.
You'll get it this time.
It's fine. You know what? How about we don't break my mental state before the game?
What?
All right, thanks a lot.
If your mental state isn't broken after game 2 of this series, it is impervious to damage.
Phil doesn't like you.
He does. He told me he'd clean my PC for free.
What?
Yeah. I just have to bring it to him, which I haven't managed to do.
I got something to bring up to Phil later then, I guess.
I think so. I feel like I've really... sorry, Phil. Please, it wasn't me. This is not on record.
All right, well, I'm going to clip this. And, okay, so, KT, Akali and Kalistar banned away.
Akalista taken away so far is the Ornn and the Aphelios, so gone.
It's
Akalistui?
No, it's Ornn.
Ah.
Yes. So you missed out on that one.
Yes. J. Felion.
I like that. Oh, that's a very nice... Oh, look at the color down below. It's sort of like... Well, it's white, red, and blue. You know?
Yeah.
And on the other side, you got green, and something.
Like green, blue, and orange hair, blue top.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this one. I just wanted to
there
point
wasn't
out,
really much of a...
I was just trying to distract you from the fact that Set just got B1.
He did get B1.
So, if you're a KT fan, I'm sorry.
Well, it happened every single game in our first series, and one of those teams won each time. So, you know. And the Set won once, didn't he?
This is true.
Yep.
Genji responding R1, R2, Misfortune, Lee Sin.
Yeah, not exactly much to be worried about there, but the Elise has made it through this time, and Bono is considering picking that one up. Certainly would be a matchup in the jungle that we've seen over and over again, but makes both of these squads sinners. Did have access to things like the Gragas if you would like it, and his Olaf was in fact left available as well. But Bono did decide that the Elise is going to be the priority. Skuro thinking about going back to the Rumble, and he's going to do so. BDD now with counter pick options. Could theoretically have a flex between the Rumble and the Set, but it's likely that what we see right now are the champions that the players are going to be playing.
Genji hovering Mordekaiser.
And that is going to be the chosen Set counter. Noguri made it look exactly like that in Game 1 versus T1 earlier in today. In fact, a lot earlier today. But whether Rascal can do that to Soan is the question here. Next ban phase now upon us. Genji could choose to pinch the support position like they have done in the past. We'll see exactly where their minds are going to go. The Xayah is going to be taken off the board. So,
and I wonder if they're gonna play out the same sequence and actually go for the Lucian here.
Could be.
And then Lucian would be able to be flexed. And Lucian's actually pretty good against Rumble, and it is a skill matchup against Set. If Set ends up getting Bramble Vest and Ninja Tabai, and if he can grab Lucian once, it really spells disaster. So, we'll see what the combo is going to end up being. Leona is going to now bite the dust.
Looks like Genji wants to pick a solo laner then, because I would have imagined that Leona could have been an option that they would be looking at. Might want to be getting a priority pick. Could even be the Lucian for themselves. It's 3 seconds on the clock, KT with a decision to make. And it will be the Nautilus taken off the board. Now, where do they go? Do they take away something like the Thresh, Blitzcrank for the bottom lane, or do they lock in? some sort of solo lane that they feel is safe enough to get here. Syndra available, something that we have seen blinded multiple times, and the Galio is going to be locked away. So theoretically a flex has largely been going into the support position from what I've been seeing, but could of course be mid lane as well. Was of course one of BDD's favorites.
Yeah. Well, it is a flex, mid and support. This isn't 10-3 where Galio did just receive some small change. Now Varus, okay, it's actually going to be Ezreal.
Are we getting a caster support? I want Tusin's Nami. I want the Ezreal Nami lane right now. Do it. I want it so bad.
No, you already know. Come on, come on, Tom or Braum. Come on. Come on, we're in the LCK.
It'll be Tom Ken.
We're in the LCK. Alice, come on.
Give me the Nami. Don't be scared, Tusin. Oh, Yumi's okay. We'll take Yumi.
Okay. Now, this isn't the massive Yumi buff patch.
No, that's
which
coming.
Is 10-3, yeah.
Yeah. So she's a little bit anemic, but still does what it says on the tin, and can certainly interrupt a, well, actually, picking Yumi into Mordekaiser's rough. It's very rough. That's Brad! All right. Kellen saying, well, I'm going to bring out an old favorite of mine myself, and picks up the Bard, is another notable pick into Yumi, because if she casts you and me, and then pops out of her current target, can be quite an easy target for the Cosmic Binding. But haven't seen a Brad for quite some time, and can certainly bully a lane alongside Misfortune. Excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, I'm personally actually really excited to see this, mostly because I've talked about Bard a lot on stream in recent months. About how strong of a champion he actually is. And also, the preseason changes indirectly buffed him because he gets the XP from the Chines, solo XP was increased, which means when he leaves the AD carry alone, they actually get more benefit. Also, the changes to the jungle means that if he can apply pressure at all, it means that much more in slowing down the tempo and pacing of the enemy team. And then also, have you seen this champion's base damages? It doesn't make any sense.
Meep Slap does a hell of a lot of work.
Does not make any sense. Why can a support champion build tank, Deadmans, and rapid fire cannon with a support item, and then kill your carry
in like 1.5 hits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, why can he teleport everyone around the map?
Why can a support comfortably take Electrocute and feel good about it, LS?
Well, I like that. I like mage supports. I am so happy that we are seeing one right now inside of the Brad.
Yeah, well, Kellen, we'll see whether he can put the Brad to work. As KT have also adjusted their roster just slightly. Sorry, not their roster, their composition just slightly. It's getting a little bit late, guys. But Gen G, will they be able to put the cat on a book into the Death Realm and eliminate her is my big question. Tusin was one of our notable Yumi players when she was very strong last year, but that might have just been because Deft was so good. And augmenting Deft was always a good idea. Now Aiming, going to need to do his best Deft impression on the Ezreal. Because of course Deft, probably our most notable Ezreal player remaining. In the LCK, we saw Bang leave, we saw Prey leave, and it was in the beginning, Deft, Prey, and Bang that were just extraordinary. On the Ezreal pickup.
Let's see what is going to end up happening. As that is a interesting Bard skin. Personally, I'm actually a very big fan of the snow Bard.
Oh, it is adorable. Yeah,
It
and
really
the Meeps are like little penguins.
Yeah,
oh,
little penguins.
So cute.
Yeah.
I do like this one. Did you play Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild?
No.
Oh, dang it, dude. It reminds me of those, there were these little birds that were around the map, and they play like this cool music. And it was similar music to the Kakariko Village windmill music.
Okay. Which
was like one of the coolest tracks in Ocarina of Time. And he plays that and then tells you a riddle, and then you can solve it to get cool stuff. That's what it looks like to me. It was a long story for not that much information, but I hope someone got something out of it and agrees with me. So that's all I want, validation. There's Tusin doing some bopping. Remember, Brad, yeah, he hits hard, but also gets hit real hard, as Kuro has to flash very early in this game. But successful gank at 2 minutes. Not bad at all. So we've been seeing a lot of these Guardian Yumis popping up, but we're back to the Comet for Tucson. Wanting to play this one a little bit more aggressively, and I like that in a poke lane alongside Ezreal. We'll be eating through a lot of Kellen's mana as he's putting down these shrines. Oh, that's the other thing that's amazing about the Winter Wonderland skin is that you you get the little cocoa.
Yeah.
The hot cocoa.
That is actually really nice. It really is. Alright, so far, Sohan up there on the top lane seems to be doing really good, but we're going to get a little... Okay, we're getting a camera pan, so...
Looking at a dive, potentially.
They are piling up a very large wave, but Rascal is pretty healthy.
And
so
Clit is in the area.
Yeah, Clit's in the area. They know that. Set did not quite get the bounce that he was looking for, and so now this is going to be a little bit slow. He's going to E that minion just to get it. Doesn't want to miss out on the CS. Rascal might go... Well, Michael, he might end up actually trying to reset off of this wave. He might just go home. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. Or if he's just going to elect to actually stay and continue to play out this wave.
Ruler playing up against aiming here aggressively. Trades about even. Kellen does bear the worst of that one. Zoomies from Tucson will help as both of the bottom lanes with a fair bit of sustain available to them in very different ways. The Shrine's going to be helping. Bit of a recall coming through from Ruler as the bottom lanes are basically even.
Well, missed out on that E.
Yeah, couldn't
Didn't
break
quite have the
face.
spacing, yep. But, I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. He is so far ahead in the CS department. And again, this is one of those dynamics where Brad, Galio, Mordekaiser, all heavy amounts of magic damage. And also, there is so much CC on this team that Hexdrinker into Mercury Treads would be really good itemization, and then from there go into Trinity Force and then round it out with Dead Man's Play. That's going to be a nice
that's
trade.
A huge combo from Sohan, but Rascal utilizes the W quite nicely. Sorry, back to your point.
That's pretty much it. You know.
All right.
You know what? So ever since I thought of this when Set was released, okay? Because we're having a little bit of a lull state. Everyone's gonna recall. We're gonna go back. We're gonna buy our items. So I get a little bit of a downtime. I just want to bring you in on this. So
it's weird because downtime's not something that we've had very much this series.
We're wasting time. Come on. All right, listen.
Yo.
So we're on limited time. We're on borrowed time. There's always something to talk about. But
yeah, there's always action.
With the release of Aphelios and having the 2 buttons. I thought when Set was released, like his left punch, right punch, wouldn't it be really cool if there was like an Eddie Gordo character? Where like a Q was like a left punch, W is right punch. E is like a kick.
And so we're just playing a boxing game?
Yes.
And you actually play the game with a Wiimote?
No.
No, you don't want to do that?
No.
Okay, maybe I
just your QWER is 4 abilities, sort of like Udyr. And you skill them and they just do different stuff. And then he's constantly in motion. You know what I mean?
That'd actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, like, you ever play Tekken?
Well, like, maybe QWER could represent his limbs.
That's what I just said.
Oh, right, so it's just actually arm, leg.
Arm, leg.
Okay, sorry. That actually sounds to me...
Or you could do arm, leg, and then a grapple.
Do you remember that game, like, I think it was a browser game? Oh, no, Mr. Octopus.
What's that?
It's where you play this game as an octopus, and you have to control each of his tentacles, and you have to just walk around and achieve menial tasks.
Okay, I like that.
Octodad's the game.
All right, when did that come out? 1980?
Yeah, something like that. No. This is out on Steam. It was out like, I don't know, 2 years ago.
Do you know that a lot of games that used to be free to play in web browsers are now only available on Steam for money?
Really?
Yeah, I felt really sad.
That is really sad.
Oh.
Well, Rascal taking the worst of that one, but can turn it around to even out the trade. It's weird. I feel like Mordekaiser's trade patterns are similar to like a ranged champion. Because the melee goes in, does their buttons and their combo, and then Mordekaiser's time to shine is after that. In a weird way.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely strange. Okay, so on just used his W. So there would be a trade window opportunity that Rascal could have gone for. A little bit surprising. I mean, Rascal is down 30 CS.
Yeah,
and
this is a disaster.
we see that Soan's being really greedy. He went for the Phage, which is definitely a bit surprising.
Yeah,
and
you want him to build magic resist.
I wanted him. Yeah, I wanted him to get magic resist and also just get the Merc Treads really fast so that you'd have the mobility. The Phage, yes, it gives you the MS. Yes, it lets you stick, but the recipe components for it are basically all the stats that you're getting. You're getting 5 more AD, you're getting 50 more HP, and then you're getting the Rage passive. But if you just had tier 1 boots, you're basically almost always perma-raged.
Yeah.
And you can allocate gold into other items, which is another cool feature about Trinity Force set that Black Cleaver set doesn't have. But I'm getting a little worried, Atlas. I'm beginning to think that Soan here, with 4 AP champions, or well, 3.5,
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to build a Black Cleaver. And honestly, I'm getting a little nervous.
I don't think it's going to happen. Well, Death Realm's come out here as we've got the Showstopper to fly on forward in response. They're going to come out of the Death Realm, and there's going to be 2 junglers present as Clid is going to immediately get cocooned. But the kickback lands, and the flash forward from Rascal is going to grab in the first blood, and second immediately to follow as PDD had joined the party. That was a teleport, no heroic entrance required as Kuro, he rotates just a little too late to this one.
And yeah, it truly is cursed as
oh God,
the set.
Just saw the Kindle Gem.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
you know, I can't feel bad for players that don't do a lot of research. Okay? It becomes really easy. Now, Korea is very up in the air with Trinity Force and Black Cleaver. Like, as we saw earlier,
I mean, it was only Noguri that decided
Noguri did the Trinity Force, but there's so many players on the ladder that are doing Trinity Force and Black Cleaver. And if you look really close at both of them, it becomes pretty apparent that Trinity Force would just be better.
I mean, I can just have a look right now as we have a look at this replay. With Rascal getting that big old flash in.
Set tries to go for the W, and then a really nice Q flash there by Rascal as Elise was then also locked up.
Well, okay.
Oh, here's the pro view, by the way. It looks like hell.
Oh yeah, it is cool in that skin. Okay. I like it a lot.
Why?
Nice.
Okay. Very nice.
So, having a look here, we've got some really interesting statistics based on build win rates.
Okay.
Trinity Force with the Tiamat, almost the exact build that Noguri went for, is currently sitting at a 62.2% win rate.
Okay.
If those 4 items have been completed. Second build that we did see was the Black Cleaver into, I believe, mostly tank items.
Yeah.
And that's at a 60.88% win rate.
Okay.
But the highest win rate build... All right, wait a second. All right, so the first build that I was talking about, 62%, was building Tiamat first and then finishing the Trinity Force.
Okay.
But the highest win rate build is Trinity Force into Titanic into Sterix Gauge.
Okay.
That's highest win rate. Followed by Black Cleaver into Titanic into Sterix.
Okay. All right.
That's apparently 64% win rate though. So
There you go.
that's a Black Cleaver. Seems like people haven't got the memo, but they're still playing well, so they're winning. I don't know. I felt like I wasted a lot of time just going over.
Well, I mean, there's really not too much going on though inside of the game, so I feel like
That's
itemization
okay.
like this is actually interesting. It's not every day that you get to actually talk about stuff like this.
Well, Kuro might be in trouble as Clid, I believe, a minion blocked his Q. So Kuro's going to be absolutely fine. Bottom side of the map, Bono did pay a visit, but Ruler and Kellen has vacated. Naming just going to try and find himself a recall. He's behind by a little bit. A couple of Doran's Blades picked up by Ruler, just to try and make sure that they can win the lane as hard as possible. And we'll see when Kellen goes for a little bit of a journey to find more of these chimes around the map. You can see there's a couple in his own jungle. There's a dance forward. Big deaths for us as the Death Realm once again comes forward. Showstopper comes down, so on, surviving for the moment, and there the W comes in, the Haymaker to get the work done, but Rascal not dead yet. Oh, the flash to get out of the way of the onslaught, and 4 KT members are here. That is going to mean the tidy up of Rascal.
And now Bono, I mean, he has the Rift Herald. It doesn't seem like... Oh, no, okay. He did end up summoning it. He summoned it a little bit late. It still will summon. How does she charge from that distance?
She just does it point blank and hits nothing because the Tempered Fate is there. Love the denial, and she's not even going to get the charge. It's just not happening. That was immune. Today I learned that Rift Herald is immune to Tempered Fate, which I didn't actually know. Caster, by the way. Shelly will be taken down. Still a lot of plates we're giving it.
Lots of plates were picked up. Rumble almost has the Leandri's Torment. Ezreal almost has the Monomune.
Yep, still looking for that 2-item spike though. So not quite there just yet. Wanting to complete the Monomune, and I believe it's Trinity Force, judging by the long sword sitting there. But I could be mistaken. Given lethal tempo has been picked up, what is your favorite rune on Ezreal these days now that there's no Klepto?
Oh man. I guess
I feel really lost playing Ezreal.
Yeah,
these days.
it is really lost. I feel like honestly it's Conqueror or it's Omnistone.
Yeah.
And you try to RNG those Dark Harvest stacks to amplify all the runes.
Oh yeah.
So that's you know.
Is there a way that you can manipulate that? I know the AI on Omnistone got a little bit better.
Is so close to being so good.
Yeah.
It is honestly one of the best ideas that Riot, I feel, has put out in recent months.
I think it's really cool.
It's so close.
It's certainly unique, but yeah, I'm not sure whether it's necessarily good just yet. Maybe things just need to upgrade just a little. But for champions like Ezreal, where it just doesn't feel like there's
not a real rune
that feels good for him.
And that's usually when runes like Spellbook and Omnistone or Kleptomancy, that's when they would typically end up coming in.
Yeah. It feels, yeah, I guess Ezreal's weird because he feels like he can use every keystone, which is why Omnistone is one that feels decent. It's just, as a rune, just in general, it's not enough to just take one of the runes that you'd prefer. Too many of them don't feel so great.
The thing that's really worrisome here, though, is that set with the Black Cleaver, and again, I talked about this in the T1 versus Dom 1 series. I'll say it again.
Oh, another death round. Haymaker does come in. We're trying to do battle, but the passive is doing so much work here onto So-On. Does have a null magic mantle, but otherwise it's just not enough. That W really helping out here as Showstopper does come in. Will he have a Haymaker back in time? He gets it in the end, and the Death's Grasp not enough. BDD looking to tidy this one up. Proto Belt and gets a very short snare, but the Haymaker is in. Doesn't do damage, but keeps him alive for a little bit longer as he gets the Q movement speed. Another round. Oh my god, the Grit did so much work, but it wasn't enough in the end. Still, able to win the 1v1. I'd still call worth in all chat.
Yeah. Ended up actually bringing down Mord right there, which was really nice, and also wasted a lot of BDD's time as well. And so right now, the gold score at the top is pretty even, but the real pressure is the dragons that are building up. Now, it's only Cloud Dragon. Now, I'm not actually totally sure how this is going to work on BDD if he has the Cloud Soul. Does he R and land and it just fades?
I think he R's and lands, and then by the time he's landed, most likely there isn't any movement speed left.
And then MF stands still.
Yeah, no, MF is probably one of the worst possible. Yumi also garbage, unless you're by yourself.
Yeah, this is definitely
Ezreal not too bad.
Ezreal
I don't know what happens to Elise.
Set is good.
Elise can just spam it, I guess, and book it around the map. I don't know.
And
don't know how that works.
Rumble. All right, so let's take a look at this. Set actually starts this off by eating an entire combo. There's a really good grit stack right there, punching as much as he possibly can. The minions even get involved in this. Rascal doesn't quite fully sidestep it, gets superplexed, and then right there, just not quite able to finish off So-On. Unfortunately, with the way that he played it, Galio showed up though to quickly avenge him.
Really good sidestepping and making sure that he's on top of Mordekaiser's body so the Qs are really hard to land. No obliteration to be really gained. I think there are only, you know, 1 or 2 Qs that landed in that entire 1v1. So really cleanly done as another Tempered Fate to deny Shirley. And now, speaking of denying things, KT looking to try and deny one more step towards the Cloud Soul. Instead, looking to try and start a fight. No more Taunt available. It's going to be on cooldown for the next little while, but KT just playing around this and will move down to try and get themselves their first Drake of the game. If they get 4 Cloud Drakes, that's a hell of a lot of movement speed.
That is a lot of movement speed, but...
And, sorry, ultimate cooldown,
and,
especially.
Yeah, the ultimate cooldown, 40% on it. I mean, for Ezreal, that's really big. For Yuumi, it's going to be really big as well.
For Elise, means nothing.
Well...
Someone can throw people around a lot, though.
He can superflex a lot, yeah.
It's basically a juggler. And Kuro can just line up equalizers.
Oh, man. Do they know?
Oh. Clid,
oh?
He's certainly got a bit surprised there. Good kickback for some attempted disengage as True Shot Barrage is going to be flashed. Don't know whether Clid needed to, but he's going to play it safe. As our safeguard going to be necessary, but doesn't have any wards available. Oh, no, he has a minion wave! And Kuro has to use the ult in order to lock him down. Thought for 1 second that Clid was going to survive, but the rest of Gen G aren't wasting their time. Aiming, doing what he can, but Tucson chose to try and stun up the Galio instead of the 3 people thwacking on the turret. That means that that outer is going to go down.
And
Clid's
Bono and
not
Kuro are on the dragon. So at least going to be able to pick it up, repel over.
Flash out of the Tempered Fate as Soan is going to get taunted. Death's Grasp going to bring him back. That obliterate did land as the Death Realm utilized here from Rascal, but he knows what happens in this particular timeline. This story has been solved, but he comes out of the Death Realm into a bullet time, and therefore the timeline was sorted out by Ruler. So Gen G successful here, but they do lose the Drake, which means they're unable to accelerate towards the Dragon Soul as quickly as they otherwise would, as this is the surprise attack on Declare.
Well, superplex right down into the ground. A little bit surprising. I thought that they had chained the cocoon correctly. Ended up not being the case. Had to use the equalizer here to finish him off. Lee was not happy about that. The anti-synergy right here. Soan flashes away, gets pulled by the grasp, and then Bono is like, no, do not lead them over here. Still keeps trying to do those golems. He's just trying to farm, man.
Yeah. I do like the idea of ulting the set so that he can't kill your backline, but would have been possibly easier to get a second kill if Rascal had have held on to it, but hindsight, those things. Gen G with control of the map at this stage, trying to get deep vision down, trying to play around where this Baron is, but it's 20 minutes into the game. Baron is very new and is pretty scary. Aiming, dives on top of a control ward, and BDD will have ample time to get out of the way with help of the Justice Punch. 2-item spy completed here for Aiming, though. He's got his Trinity Force and his Mana Immune. Not quite a Mirror Mana just yet. Boots of Lucidity also picked up as see what else he's going to be building. Does sort of show that he's not going to be building too much more cooldown reduction for the rest of his build as Kellen Tempered Fate comes in, but it's not going to be enough to cancel out the last chapter. There's the flash forward. Kellen's going to get tagged, but not going to get slowed, of course. No Iceborne Gauntlet. Still in trouble. Honeyfruit not going to slow anyone down. And KT can't find their picks.
And you can hear lots of pings actually going off from the summoners that just ended up getting used. And now KT, they're looking to raise this mid-tier 1 turret.
Remember, based on the timeline, Game 2 is over in 5 minutes.
Yes.
So this game has been well and truly extended already. And it's not likely that it's going to be finishing in 8 either, which is the timeline for game number 1. So really feeling like both of these teams are feeling the pressure, as it is, of course, match point in their first set of the season.
I see what you did there.
It was...
yeah. That was very funny.
Thanks.
You made an extremely funny joke.
That was an extraordinarily intentional pun, and I want you to know that.
Okay.
because it's not like we've referred to games as sets before in the past.
Yeah,
so
it's definitely not. We don't
I
do that.
chose to do that
Yeah,
because
fine.
of the hilarious.
Sure, yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, cool. Just
Okay.
wanted to make sure that you knew that.
Yeah, awesome. Love
Thanks,
it.
man.
Yeah, no problem.
That's for everyone at home as well.
Yeah, I always got your back on this.
Just like myself sometimes. Okay, KT, can they make a move? Because right now Gen G has so much control of the top side of the map. KT with some vision available in the river on bottom side, but that's looking for a Cloud Drake that's going to be available in just over a minute. A possibility. Looks like Gen G aren't really concerned too much with Dragon Soul. They're wanting to try and opt into some sort of Baron play. And of course, this is a team that does have the Mordekaiser, so Barons are much more easy to secure.
Yes.
And the fact that you can just put Bono in the Death Realm. Rascal going for a pretty aggressive build here with what looks like Nash's Tooth coming in as second item instead of third. Often Rylai's is picked up first alongside Leandri's to make sure that you're a bit more battle ready with a bit more health.
Yeah, you have more health. You also have the slow, which then amplifies the burn.
Yep.
From 4.5 to 7.5%. So on, just trying to shove out this wave as fast as possible. Also going Deadman's as his third item.
Yeah, this is exactly the build that oh my goodness, I'm blanking. It was picked up in our earlier series by Roach. And he had the Aftershock, which I actually thought paired a little bit better with this style of build.
Yes.
If you're going to go tanky, you may as well be an initiator and a frontline. And so go for something that's a little bit more tanky, involving a Gargoyle Stoneplate, something like that. Someone's going a little bit more on the battle side with his Conqueror. Gen G just grouping up, staying as a team, but this gold lead has not changed for a very long time.
They can just do Baron. What?
We're trading Cloud Drake, second Cloud for a Baron. Let's get to that area. Remember, Yuumi has changed, cannot join with a friend on a teleport anymore. So it's not like they can get 3 people there instantly, but
I think if they magical portal on, you see to the left of the Bard portal.
Yeah, got it.
Okay,
yeah.
If you tunnel through that,
thingy,
yes,
yeah.
they were all standing on mid. Tunnel through that for speed, go on to the Baron immediately, and then Bard ultimate the incoming enemy team, and then Bard portal out of the Baron pit. All stand at the back of the Baron pit. Mordekaiser use R if somehow Elise gets over there.
Their ability
get out.
to deny anyone trying to take a Baron from them
they have
is
so
pretty
many
damn
tools,
high.
right?
Yeah.
So Mordekaiser with the Leandri's and just everything. I'm pretty sure they can sneak it and get out. That would have been a, what, 24-minute Baron? The items that they have the Leandri's Torment at that point in time.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Definitely
The only way
strange.
that KT would have stolen that is with a True Shot Barrage, if Gen G played it.
And the other thing is,
textbook.
worst case scenario, let's say that Sohan and Kuro both use teleport to get over there. Now, I'll be honest, actually, I did not check, or, well,
Aiming's teleport
I
wasn't
can't
available
see
at the
Kuro's
time.
teleport because of my eyesight.
Using
right now.
that old excuse again. Okay.
But even if they teleport,
oh, okay. Suplex is going to come
Okay.
in like you like to call it, but Rascal's going to flash the wall. Bono comes in, realizes that he's not going to be able to 1v1, was a little bit ahead of his team.
what?
As BDD teleports to the bottom lane because he loves minions. Red Dot Syndrome. But he is in range of a heroic entrance if he would like to pay a visit to his team. Level 14, not quite with the maximum range, but it's still pretty long at rank 2. And now Gen G are looking for a fight. Tempered Fate sidestepped.
Oh,
Trying to
Galio!
fight it. That's a big 2-man taunt into the back line. And KT have already lost their jungler. Flash is being utilized everywhere as Ruler is on a rampage. Tucson is a cat on a book without a friend, and that is one that ain't winning any team fights anytime soon. And Gen G are going to say, you guys can have your 2 members. We are going to dive onto the Baron and win this game.
And so I think that that's probably going to be all that she wrote. It's going to be the Baron buff picked up by Gen G. And also the mid turret taking quite a hefty amount of damage.
Is there a world where Gen G, instead of actually going for the Baron, could have just won the game? No, I think that time is a little bit too low. It is still 26 minutes into the game. I might be eating my words. I mean, there's still 2 minutes and Gen G can win in the same time frame that KT were able to take game 1. However, still not over just yet. And this is by no means the same game that Game 2 was. It's getting there. Not quite that all she wrote just yet. But with the Baron buff and Gen G in still relative control, looking very comfortable. Let's have a look at this fight once again. BDD just finding the right flank. Flash
I mean,
pretty good.
He just walked up slowly to them and W.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did right there.
And he
And
flashed. He flashed
didn't have
W
to
because
add
he
that
can't
onto it.
W flash anymore. Which is a bit sad. Makes it a bit projected.
Galio
but
is grounded while casting.
yes.
And Ruler obviously going completely bloodthirsty. I'm not talking about the bloodthirster.
Oh, look at us with
Yeah.
our accidental puns today.
Yeah,
Doing really well. Love it.
unintentional, so, you know.
Once again,
Not to
highest win rate
brag.
build. Love it, love it.
Yep.
The slave to the OPGG is Rascal going to get caught out of position. Death Realm going to be there. Whoever's in there, no, it's going to be aiming. He QSS's it immediately.
Now,
And that is a dead Mordekaiser. But the rest of the team is pushing in. I swear BDD is like almost not a member of Gen G anymore. He's been on his own so long. But then decides to win a team fight, and then you guys will be okay, right? And then continues pushing a side lane.
one inhibitor going to be picked up. And also quite a bit of chip damage on that top tier 3. 40 seconds until the next Cloud Dragon. Now, this isn't one that necessarily does anything. We're still ways away from the Cloud Soul. Now, Rascal has teleport.
Wow. Lid going for an aggressive move. Goes Golden to try and hold the blushes, but isn't quite able to. Tempered Fate lands onto Bono. The bullet time does absolutely nothing, and that was a lot of buttons pressed, but not a lot of outcome. And now Soan trying to do his best BDD impression on BDD.
Where is Mordekaiser? He has TP.
He's still booking it. Soan's got the Dead Man's Plate. He's running pretty quick. Still has Q available to him as well if he wants to run even faster.
Interesting.
Can he actually find it onto anyone is the question. Cosmic Binding connect.
Mord is not staying on the fountain. He's actually just running to the minion wave down in bottom, so he won't have the home guard bonus in the event that his team would need him, but instead they're actually just going to raise the top inhibitor turret as well. They're going to get out of there via the magical portal.
Yep, take a journey. 27 seconds on this Baron, but already a very successful one. Close to a 2,000 gold Baron power play. That is going to spell a 5.5k gold lead here for Gen G. 7 turrets to 2. KT well and truly on the back foot, but they might be able to get to their third Cloud Drake.
I think it's very cute. They ping to use the Bard portal.
Oh yeah?
I watched them use it, yeah.
Oh, that's
It was really good on the minimap.
That
That
is
was
cute.
very nice, yeah.
Well, Gen G are going to deny any hopes for a Dragon Soul in the next Drake by 4 KT by denying that one here. They can grab it themselves, of course. Now Rascal back from the Death Chamber and is now on the bottom side trying to take the last remaining inhibitor. Still yet to get through this inner turret. It's Soan getting closed in on, but Kuro is going to be there to try and help him.
I don't know what Soan is. Well, the turret lived.
Yeah, he's stepping on forward. Bullet time cancelled as there's the suplex that you were talking about. Rascal trying to continue this fight. Soan does do a lot of work and goes golden as well to keep himself alive and not going to find the taunt. BDD does still find the kill. Kellen has to get out of there, down to 200 health. There's now BDD in trouble. Clit's trying to win the game by himself. Two-man taunt comes in. Ruler still there with a fair bit of damage.
Aiming?
What the heck? Aiming doing his general aiming thing, and that's going to be a couple of kills, and Gen G have just found themselves the game.
Well, Click can actually kill Bono. Oh, he can WR. Huh?
I mean, he can kill the next turrets as well as, that's the
There's the
RQ.
WR.
And just does it by himself. Waits for the rest of his team to get tantalizingly close before solo killing the Spider Lady. But Bono didn't have many options there. And the Nexus is going to be taken down. Gen G do manage to rewrite the script after game 1. 2 games in a row. But KT with a dominant game 1 certainly made things look a little bit worrisome.
Yeah.
But Gen G able to do it much like T1 did in their first game today.
And so, game number 2 was obviously, it was something. It was what?
I'm looking at this MVP selection wondering what the heck to do, by the way.
Well, you know what? One thing decided it for me. It was when Galio slowly walked up behind them and W'd.
Well. Yeah, I guess.
Because that actually,
happen.
that's what blew open the game.
It did. I mean, that was the one team fight that made it impossible.
If he doesn't get MVP, because Ruler flashed forward and autoed after he did that.
I mean, yeah, this is the thing, that bottom lane team fight, I don't know.
This election would be rigged if that would be the case.
And also Rascal losing that 1v1 against Solon. I couldn't give it to him for it.
Yeah, you can't.
You know?
You
Not
can't
after
do that.
that.
And then we can't honestly give it to Bard. The most impressive thing about Bard this game was the denials. And
Yeah.
so now, Rift Heralds, they probably are going to have some PTSD
Yeah.
in our next,
Yeah,
like,
Shelly and Shirley both were unable to do anything.
They are not going back to the Void happy, I'll tell you that
And
much.
you know what happens when you just don't feel like you have much of a function, you know? You like,
Oh, I know.
yeah, lack of purpose.
Yeah.
Shelly and Shirley now
That
talking
is
to their
a
therapists
lot of-
about it.
Who is their therapist, do you think? Oh, it's probably the Academy Kaisa skin, which probably is coming at some point. Kaisa's
Okay.
in the Void, you know?
It might be Headmistress Fiora as well.
Ooh.
I'm sure she could have a conversation with them.
You mean Headmistress Fire? I tried to go.
I like how you ruined that. However, you still did it correctly via ruining it, which I think sort of sums up our entire first day here at Spring 2020 LCK. Oh my goodness, it certainly went the distance. I'm not entirely sure what time it is. It's very close to midnight. Okay,
Midnight.
That's probably why we're going a little bit batty. And you know what? We get to do it all again tomorrow.
My night's not even done.
Are you going home to like co-stream something?
I gotta stream. Just for a little bit. My night's not over.
Well, I mean...
Well, I'm not actually going home. I'm staying at a hotel right next to Little Park.
Yeah, which is very, very good. Because if you had to take an hour-and-a-half train ride, then go home, then
No, the
stream...
trains are closed.
All right, so an hour-and-a-half taxi.
I'd pay a $50 taxi.
Yeah. They go home and stream
To go home.
in like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And
then I would have
go
to
to sleep for like 45 minutes. Wake up to take the train back to work.
Exactly. See?
Oh, baby.
That's what I'm excited
sounds
about.
healthy.
Yeah, I know it does.
Oh,
I know it does.
I'm not going to make fun of you for any bags under your eyes ever again.
Thank you.
I promise.
I do appreciate that.
Not very nice.
Galio getting that taunt right there, doing the Q. Watch aiming here in the follow-up. So you can understand that maybe he's just thinking that it's do or die. I feel like he panics with the Arcane Shift. QSS even a little bit slow.
Oh.
Honestly,
no, what?
he can...
So he was trying to kill Kellen and then kill Ruler immediately afterwards, and then
He can
slightly
kill
messed
them,
it up.
but the execution there is off, but still Lee Sin is still going to accomplish everything that he's doing.
True.
So...
Sometimes you see red.
Yeah. So the Sith won today. Yeah. Red did win.
They did. Although I liked how KT did it in game one. This didn't feel as good, but I do like seeing BDD back on a more facilitatory mid laner. He was playing a lot of side lane Galio, but he was there when he needed to be and accomplished what he needed to, especially with that teleport play into the mid lane. 8,000 damage. I'm still going to award him the MVP for this game because he got what his champion was supposed to do done perfectly, basically. And everything sort of just worked like clockwork.
Yeah.
Ruler also played very well. I mean, dominated his lane entirely, so is another option there. However, not exactly something that Ruler doesn't do every game, so sometimes maybe we're a little bit jaded.
I am extremely excited to hear what they have to say, especially about game number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything to say about game number 2?
I think there's a lot to say.
Did game number 2 happen?
Is Echo in the death row?
That's what I thought. I mean, there was a Mordekaiser in the last game. There wasn't an Echo. And maybe that makes a time continuum issue. Something like that.
I like that.
Yeah. We're
I
gonna
have a question.
What's that?
Here we go.
All right,
Player of the
BDD's
game.
going to pick it up.
It is going to be
Nicely done.
BDD. I'll save my question.
Hey, we've already discussed BDD and why he deserves the MVP.
Okay,
You can
sure.
have your question.
Okay,
it's fine.
here
We're
we
going
go.
to be getting into
What
an
if
MVP
Silas
interview relatively
steals
quickly.
Mordekaiser's ultimate, and then Mordekaiser ults someone, and that's Silas's friend, and then Silas ults someone to try to go to the Death Realm, but then Silas's Death Realm is not Mordekaiser's Death Realm, and they're different Death Realms, and Silas feels like he lied. And what if one of those champions is Zillion, and the other one is Echo? They both use their ultimate, and nothing happens. What's going on there? Yeah, I'll see you in the Reddit comments. Don't give me that face. You know I'm right.
If Mordekaiser QSS's to get out of a Death Realm that he's put in by a Sylas,
Yes.
and then puts the Sylas back into a Death Realm, where do they go? Is it the same one?
Ooh. What if Mordekaiser R's a Tahm Kench, and then the Tahm Kench eats the Mordekaiser inside of the Death Realm? And then Tahm Kench QS.
Does that mean that Tahm Kench's belly is in fact the Death Realm? Whoa.
These are the important questions
I
here.
am losing my mind.
Now,
congratulations to BDD and congratulations to Gen G. An absolutely great comeback. Not necessarily the cleanest in game number one. They certainly needed to tidy that up, but game two was basically a done deal from the beginning, and game three also felt like it was all she wrote pretty early on as well. So Gen G, business as usual, try and do our best to ignore game one. But, you know, 26-minute win, and then what was this? About a 30-minute win.
yeah.
Not too bad here from Gen G, and showing a lot of different gears as well with the compositions that they've ran here today. I like the Taric and the Kalista, something that Kellen and Ruler have been practicing quite a lot, and also shows that, you know, that's going to involve a lot more banning to be done by our opponents. But we are going to go to an interview, and I believe it's going to be Clit and BDD.
네,
So
젠지가
they're standing by with Mina
개막전
Kim, and here's
경기를
Ji-sun for some translation.
오늘 승리의 주역이죠.
Thank you very much,
BDD
guys.
선수
This is
BDD
Ji-sun with the
선수고요.
English translation,
안녕하세요.
and we'll be hearing from Clit, BDD, the main
제-
characters of
제가
today's
열심히
Gen G series.
자, 클리 선수, BDD 선수.
Clit and BDD,
사실
congratulations.
많은 분들이 젠지에게
Well, Gen G
엄청난 기대를
was
건
the
만큼
team
오늘
with
첫 번째
the
경기가 더
highest
부담스러울
hopes
것 같아요.
for this split, so
어떠신가요?
maybe you guys were feeling a bit of a pressure, right? This is my first match at this year's LCK and also in the new team,